What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be customizing this Tommy Hilfiger wallet, this Tommy Hilfiger leather wallet to be more specific. Now, the idea that I had in mind was to customize something along the lines of Captain Marvel, because the movie is going to be releasing in like 2 months. So I wanted to do something along the lines of that. Now, I'm a big comic book fan, and I know Avengers Endgame is going to be in May, but that's kind of a little bit further down the line, so I was going to do something else for that specific movie. Now, the items that you will need is obviously your paints, Angelus leather preparer and deglazer. The reason why you need this is because there might be a factory finish on the wallet. Now, I don't know. Now I'm gonna explain how to use this Angelus leather preparer and deglazer in a moment. You will also need a matte acrylic finisher. You would also need a surface wipes. I will explain why you will need this. You also need your pencils to outline the designs, and eraser as well. You will need, now I'm going to use a piece of paper because the paint quantity I'm going to be using is going to be so small that I don't need a whole paint palette. Now, if you have a paint palette, you can use that. If you don't, I just use a piece of paper. Last thing you will need is obviously the designs that you're gonna have and the designs that you want to customize on the leather wallet. And you would also need a blow dryer or a heat gun. Now, I'm using a blow dryer because it's more convenient and you can find these at any store. And the reason why you need this is because when you're painting and you want the paint to dry, you would use a blow dryer. Now, otherwise than that, let's get straight into it. Now, the next step is to use Angelus leather preparer and deglazer. The reason why we want to do that is that this is a leather surface. Now, I don't know if it's factory protected finish, but I'm just going to take precaution and assumption that it is. So we are going to use this Angelus leather preparer and deglazer to remove the protective factory finish so that we can paint on the actual leather, and then later on when we're finished we can use acrylic matte finisher to paint above our paint, and then that will secure our design. Now, what you will need is your surface wipes, and you just need just one surface wipes. What you would do then is pour a little bit of this on the tip of the surface wipe, rub it slightly, not like, you don't need to actually press on the leather, but what you need to do is kind of like lightly clean off the surface, just probably 1, maybe 3 times maximum. That will probably remove the protective finish, and then from there you will now start painting on the leather wallet. So I'm gonna go commence into the time lapse of me doing this, and then I'll move on to the next stage, which will be actually me painting a white background, or where the majority of the design will be on the wallet. Otherwise, I'll see you in a minute. Alright, so now that I've painted the white outline on the background where the character will be, the reason why you want to do this is that if you're painting colors that are really light, colors that are yellow, red, sometimes blue on a black surface, although that you will see the design, it wouldn't really like pop and stand out if you had to paint on a white surface, white background. So like painting on the white background will make it stand out more and pop out more than rather just going straight into painting on a black background. So now that I've done that, and that I've also deglazed the protective finish, so that I've removed the protective finish, the next step will be is to take my pencils and outline the characteristics of the character. Just a normal 4B pencil. Now, you can get these at any store that sells variations of pencil. This is what I use to just get the outline of the character. It does work well with the paint, so there won't be any issues of like the leather, the lead interrupting the paint, and that's what I always use. I recommend a 4B or a 2B because that's quite darker than a normal HB pencil. That will make the character stand out more when you're painting. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Alright, so now that I've finished outlining the character's features with the pencils, the next thing to do is to actually start painting. Now before I actually start painting, I'm going to just mention the colors that I'll be using. The first color I'll be using is obviously ocean blue, scarlet red. I'll be using a lot of scarlet red, as well as deep red to get a little bit darker shade of red. I'll be using old gold. I'll be using cream white, as well as white premier. It's just normal, it's not normal white, it's white premier. I'll be also using black premier, not just normal black. I'll be using this type of blue, which I cannot pronunciate to save my life, but yeah, I'll be using that. I'll also be using hints of orange in certain areas. I'll be obviously using yellow. This is not a specific type of yellow, but just yellow. And lastly, I'll be using burgundy. Now I removed the lid cap so you can't see it, so I'll be using burgundy. I'll also be using other colors some way throughout the painting process. I will try and mention it, but most of them, the predominant colors I'll be using will be these 6, 7, 8 colors. Alright, so now that I am 95% confident with the body of the character, I might go back and do a couple of highlights here and there. But now that I'm 95% confident with the body of the character, the next step for me to do is to move on to her hair as well as her face. And the additional colors I'll be using for that will be leather brown, tan flesh, chocolate brown for the darker shades over her hair as well as her skin, and pink. These are the 4 additional colors I'll be using. I'll also be using orange to get that kind of glowy yellow effect as well as yellow. So without further ado, let's get straight into it.
The only connection we share, your hands to my hips, my tongue to your lips. I'm losing my grip, I must be tripping. I don't see you for who you were or who you could be. I see you for who you are and who you are to me, and other things it could be. You and I, we should be. I might be broken, not an invitation, so don't try to fix me. Sit here with my smoking, mind running in circles, how it likes to trick me. All the things that could be, you and I, we should be. True, I might be broken, not an invitation, so don't try to fix me. Smoking, mind running in circles, how it likes to trick me. All the things it could be, you and I, we should be. Yeah, I'm between my thoughts and feelings. I can't choose, I've got my reasons. I'm losing my grip, I must be tripping. You don't see me for who I was or who I could be. You see me for who I am, and other things it could be.
Alright, moving on to the final step, I'll be applying the Angelus matte acrylic finisher. I'll also be explaining how I apply the finisher. I just use a simple dry brush, making sure that it is clean and does not have any paint on it. I'll also be applying 3 layers. The reason why I always apply 3 layers is just because I, as an artist, just want to feel secure and comfortable knowing that the area that I've just painted and the custom that I've just done is securely finished. You don't have to apply 3 layers. Some people only apply 2, some people only apply 1. I always apply 3. In between the layers, I'll also be using a blow dryer just to make sure it dries and doesn't take a long time. And without any further delay, let's get straight into it.
All the things it could be, you and I, we should be.
Alright, so this is the final design, the final product. Now, I kind of have a lot of mixed emotions about this. On the one hand, I'm really happy and really confident about how I was able to capture the detail of her suit, capture the red and the blue and mixing them together. I'm also really happy about the way I capture the reflections on her suit, the light and the gold and all the other features. I'm really happy about that. But the one area that I'm not happy about, but also I understand that I'm not good at, is capturing people's faces, painting people's faces and people's hair. I'm not good at portraits at all. That's why I tend to stick away from them and just tend to do cartoonish characters or inanimate objects. You guys can let me know in the comments below what you guys' opinion of this final design. Tell me what you like about it, what you don't like about it. Tell me your opinions. If you do like the video, if you do like some aspect of this custom, do hit that like button or hit that dislike button. Let me know. I will be trying something different and something new in my next custom, but I'm really glad that I actually tried to step out my boundaries in 2019 as my first video in trying to do something that I know was my weakness, but I try to, you know, step out there. But in the end, I think I'm about 80% happy with this. I really do like the details up close and all that. So you guys can let me know what your guys' final opinions on this. You can tell me in the comment section, Todd, I like this aspect but I didn't like that aspect. You can also subscribe because I have more detailed insanely customs coming out this year and in the next couple of months. I know I took a couple of breaks on YouTube, but I do have more smaller and bigger customs on shoes as well as on other surfaces. So if you guys do like this Captain Marvel customs, please do like, please do subscribe, please do hit that notification button so that you guys can get an update when I upload videos. So thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video.